am I doing not working? Why you no work, dude? Oh, it's doing the thingy. Hold on. Hello? Hello? There we go, that's better. For whatever reason, my mic, when I first turn it on, likes to have like a constant background noise sound until I unplug it, replug it. What's up, Master? You were here before I was here. Look at you. How you doing today? You having a good Wednesday? The best Wednesday ever? The doodliest Wednesday in the world? Alright, should be live at those two places. We're gonna use the software again today. I might just leave it on the whole stream, see how that goes. Soon I shall be done with my hypothesis assessment. But not today. What do you think, Master? Do you prefer the phone for TikTok or do you prefer the software for TikTok? Alright, got that going. Got that going. Okay. Look at our lady. She's turning into a real lady. A real three-eyed lady. I gotta work on that eye some more. The eye is driving me kind of crazy. You like the software? See, I do too. It's more professional and you can see the drawing so much better than like trying to look around my hand. You know what I mean? The quality's better. Everything's better. So I would prefer to do that. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Listen, I don't know what you're talking about. Now Panda's blinking at me. You guys are out of control. Alright, these accusations and assaults are just intolerable, alright? It's just not right. Alright, okay. Let's go and go live on TikTok. I don't wanna, but we gotta. Software, baby. Real doodly software. Like a real doodler. Like a real streaming doodler. A real boy. We should get started on the hair for real, while we wait for everybody to get here. I guess I could do a little bit on it. I am eager to get this done. You know what I mean? I might work on it some more this Friday. Fridays and Saturdays are kind of the days that I'm trying to figure out what exactly I want to do. Because I don't want to do the exact same doodles every single day. You know what I mean? I was doing games on Saturday, but nobody likes games. Games are lame. Lame game. So I'm trying to do more art, trying to figure out what to do for those 2 days, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. People don't seem to be too unliking of the commission work, and I need to get it done anyway, so. Alright, going live. Twitch, YouTube, Twitch. You know what? I think I'm just gonna say it at this point. TikTok already hates me now, so I might as well just say the words. I don't think it makes a difference anymore. They've already shadow banned every art channel on their site, so. Reddit story thing. Are you interested in that? Because I'm really excited to do that, but nobody really said anything, so I was getting the vibe that nobody really cared about that kind of thing. But I would love it, personally. I do need to try it one of these days. Do you read those on your own, Master? Or is it, do you have experience with the Reddit stories? I love them. Any YouTuber that'll just talk about, like, read them and give their opinions. Although it does drive me insane when they read it and they don't read the comments. The comments are the best part, bro. I get too invested, though. I get very passionate, so... But I'm curious to see what you guys think. Sometimes my opinions aren't exactly the most normal, you know what I mean? Alright, going live on TikTok. Here we go, let's do it. Yeah. Go live, go on. Alright, just making sure we're live. We should be. There we go. Alright. Here we go. We are live everywhere now. I can notify the doodlers. Let's do it. Let's notify the doodloos. Let's do it. Let's let them know. Yeah, I'm very salty at TikTok right now. I'm not gonna lie. I think this just kind of is how it is now, though, unfortunately. I was holding out hope that maybe they would, maybe they would put things back to how they were, but I doubt it at this point. What's up, Sarah? What's up, Boop? How my doodlers today? Are you guys having a good Wednesday? It's spooky month! Today's the 1st, right? It's spooky month. I gotta decorate today. I need 31 full days of Halloween decorations, but I'm not gonna have time today. Maybe tomorrow. I have tomorrow off. Ooh, I'm gonna decorate so good. You guys are gonna be so proud of me. You guys decorate for Halloween? Do you get all festive? I love being festive so much. You guys have no idea. Even if I don't do anything for the holiday, I get anxious if I don't decorate the house at least a little bit. I don't know why. I'm just like, there was one year where I was really busy where I didn't have time to put up decorations until like a week before Halloween, and I was really anxious for some reason. I was like, I'm missing out on being festive. Exhausted but excited for Doodle. You're excited, Sarah? Yes. You got the notification on TikTok? Oh, yes, finally. That's awesome. So, I noticed, it does seem to be improving in that regard. Because before, nobody would ever get notified. So, if they can just notify my followers, that would be a dream come true. Everybody keep your fingers crossed, alright? We're gonna hope and pray. Alright. I'm gonna work on this just a tad, and then as like a warm-up doodle thing, and then we shall see who's up next for doodles. Whose turn it is today to get their doodles doodled. Wait, what was I doing? I gotta do the other hand. Oh no. Oh no. We're gonna use the software today. I have to remember to keep it centered, because usually when I'm streaming with the phone, I have to kind of keep it over here on the left, because that's where the phone is looking at, but I gotta remember to keep it in the middle today, so that you can see it at both places. What's up, Pep? I'm doing notes and listening. What kind of notes? What kind of notes you noting? The spooky month started out the downfall of the... Oh, yeah. Oof, yeah. So I saw a little bit about that. I'm too anxious to look any further into it, I'll be honest. I do not have the stress managing capacity to worry about all of that right now. I'm just gonna be blissfully ignorant for the time being. And then because a lot of times stuff like that, it doesn't directly affect you, at least not for a long time. So I just, I don't have the capacity to worry about that right now, All those rich politicians can figure it out while we all struggle down here to breathe, alright? Cardiac sonography? Oh, Lord, that sounds like some smart people stuff, Sarah. Lazarus, what's up? I see you over there. You got an idea? What's the idea? Lay it on me. Alright, so let me do this part. Get this hand out of the way so it's only fun stuff left. Let me actually get... There we go. A little bit of pink. It's always good to make your fingertips a little pink. I don't know why, but I think it looks good. It's like some artists, how they make their nose a little red every time. I do it, I guess, a little bit, but not. Some people do it like really like that. Like they'll do it like that, and that's how that character looks. You guys remember when that was a trend? I understand it, but I never did it. They just always look like they were freezing, like they're out in a winter storm or something. Another hand? No! You alright, baby? Hang on, I hear a meowing. I gotta go see what's going on. Okay, I'm back. Everything's fine. Silba, my sweet angel, does not meow very much, except when she's a little, anxious, and that could be good or bad, like anxious, like excited, or anxious, just like general, like she saw another cat and now she's amped up about it, you know what I mean? So, her meowing, I'm not used to hearing her meow all that much, so I always gotta go check. But she's good. She's just being a little silly baby. Oh, you get a gift? Oh, good. Oh, they have a pumpkin one now? Yes. I have a feeling I'm going to be drawing that jack-o'-lantern a lot this month, and I'm here for it. Anything festive, I'm here for. Alright, so whole, we got... Oh, the little hand thing. Y'all, I'm going to be so good at drawing this one thanks to whole. Actually, no, I feel like it looks worse every time I try to draw it. Telemachus, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Doodle Club. Did I say that right? Telemachus? We gotta do this hand. I gotta work on doing these faster. One of those. And then all I can see is that it's a heart. A heart with like autumn colors, I think. Right? Okay. And then a pumpkin. You guys still carve pumpkins? I can't do it. The pumpkin guts just make me want to vomit just looking at them. If they touch me, I freak out. Thank you, Ho! I appreciate it. Can finally watch. Jolene! What's up, Jolene? You made it! You can watch it from the beginning, baby. Thank you. Thank you, Illustrator. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. It helps in these hard times. Alright, back to the hand. The least fun part, but we gotta do it. Alright, so let's see. Drawing the hand is the hard part. Shading the hand isn't too hard for me at this point. It's just a little tedious, more or less, but for the most part, I have a general idea how to do it without, like, torturing myself. I say that, but then sometimes it could be abysmally difficult because I'm just having a rough day, so it really just depends. Just a lot of this and a little of that. No more doodlers. We're gonna do a doodle request today. I'm waiting for more people to get in here before we decide. So I'm gonna get a little bit more of this done before we get started on the doodle time. Pep, you ain't gotta say nothing. As long as you're here with us hanging out, that's all we need, baby. You enjoy lurking. That's what I do when I watch live streams. I usually don't talk. I just kind of lurk. You know what I mean? Despite the fact that I do nothing but yap when I'm streaming, I don't talk much in other people's streams. I'm just a little lurker. What's my request? I have no idea. You have to go back and look. Okay, fingies. You're gonna look perfect, alright? Do not embarrass me in front of my doodlers. I'm trying to show off my professional commission skills, alright? And it'll be really embarrassing if this hand is too difficult for me to doodle. Then you'll be like, I knew she couldn't actually doodle all along. And then I'll cry and cry. And like I said, I like to do most of the shading on skin with like a reddish tint instead of doing it just with like grays or even just like black. You can see it looks, oh, I was doing it on the left, dang it. You can see how it desaturates it a lot. So if you do it with a red instead, it'll look more like skin. Crystals? What you mean crystals? What kind of crystals? What's up, Yuki? Oh, when's my request? Oh, I couldn't tell you that. I don't have any idea. It purely depends on who's in here, and when they're in here, what, you know, all of that. It's so dependent. And there's a lot of requests in there, so I couldn't even give you a general estimate. Okay. Smudging around at the speed of sound. What's up, number one Sans fan? I went back to college and it's hard. Ooh, what are you going to college for, Yuki? Did you tell me that already? You not big into the college life? I'll be honest, I had a very bad time in college. You know, I don't know. It just wasn't. I honestly preferred high school to college. Just there's a lot going on in my life when I was in college where I really couldn't enjoy it like you're supposed to. You know what I mean? And then I got depressed and I was a little put all the time. And I was getting an art degree, and all of our art teachers were super uppity. They're like the stereotypical artists that you always see in like movies, where it's like they're like, what's it like utterly out of touch and like uppity and all that. They were all like that, and it was just the students were trying to be like that because they made it seem like that's how we had to be. Any other class I was in, like I'm terrible at like math and stuff, and I made some friends in my math class before I had to drop out because I was failing. But I don't know, the artsies, they just, you know, they weren't like you guys, where you guys are like down to earth with the art that you like, and it's, you know, for them, their whole thing is trying to be as like weird and I don't know how to explain it, but I think you guys can understand what I'm saying. Like that kind of really snooty, uppity, kind of the only real art is weird abstract art type of thing. You know what I mean? They would like look down on my type of art where I did this kind of stuff because it's just, oh, well, that's not real art. You're just like, they would literally tell me that. I would do a nice little portrait of a face that I thought was pretty. And they were like, oh, so you're just trying to make it look good. You're not worried about making art, right? And that was kind of the environment I was in at my school. And I wasn't a fan, but there's also a lot of factors. I think if things were a little different, I would have enjoyed college. I'm on my way to Christian youth group. Ooh, are you gonna do something fun? Recoloring today. So we're gonna do a doodle request. Well, I'm just waiting for everybody to get in here. I'll give it like another minute or two. I'm just gonna finish up this hand, I think, and then we're gonna see whose turn it is to get doodled. The only good thing about college is meeting new people. Yeah, see, that was the thing though, Jolene. I had a horrible time meeting people because I was depressed. I was like as antisocial as you could get at the time. I was just wrecked with anxiety. Like I could not function. Doctors wouldn't help me out. A lot of bad stuff going on in my life. So I was just a little pud and I didn't make no friends. It was a bad time. I never stayed in the dorms because I went to junior college for like 2 years, so I technically entered like an actual college when I was like a junior, freshman, sophomore, yeah, like a junior. So I was already like having to live off campus. It was very fun. But you know, when I went to college in Japan, that was the best year of my life. You know, so it just depends. Most people I've spoken to like college though. I expected to love it, but it sucked. I got clear quartz, tourmaline, dragon's tooth, peridot, K2, goldstone. Wait, like, are you talking about just like actual rocks that you got? I do like rocks. You know, at the Renaissance Festival, they have that one booth where they always sell like really cool looking rocks and stuff. I always like those. I thought those are fun. I used to have this ring that had a little meteorite on it, which I thought was the coolest thing ever, but I lost it, and I don't know what happened to it. It wasn't pretty, but it was cool because it was a meteorite. I was like, I got a space rock. Crystals? Where'd you get them? I don't even know if I could buy those around here. So how come some of the little animated emotes, I guess you could call them, why do some of them count as a bit and some of them don't? I don't understand. Master, can you explain? Why? Because that one doesn't look much different than the other ones, you know? Even the animated ones don't require bits sometimes, so why did that one require a bit? I can't really see it because they're so tiny, so I could see it's a lady waving, so here we go. There we go, wow. That looks so bad. Thank you, Master. Thank you, Ho, whichever you prefer. Some bits cheer with emotes. I don't, but why? What makes those special? What makes you have to pay for those and not the other ones? I don't get it. I might move to Canada. Can I come with, dude? I'd love to move to Canada. My goal is if I can ever make money, ever, because I'd either have to work like a really crappy part-time job my whole life with my art degree, or I find a way to make some money at home that I can live off of. If I could ever do that, I'm gonna move somewhere. Like, I really, really, really like traveling, especially in different countries, so it could be anywhere, honestly, as long as it's different than here. I'm gonna be very happy. So that's my dream. One day, and then once I do that, I'm gonna make the cat shelters and save all the cats from the pounds and the such, and give them good lives, especially the senior cats. I'm gonna adopt all the senior cats from all the PetSmarts so that they can live a good life and still try to get them adopted out, but I'll make sure that when they're with me, they get pampered and they'll never get put down, because senior cats never have a good shot at getting adopted, and they deserve to be comfortable, you know? Makes me say it. Alright, I think that'll do for now for the hand. That'll work. Alright, this is what we got so far, baby. Alright, ready to see whose doodle turn it is to get their doodle doodle? Some are gifts, which are small reaction things, and the bits can change depending on how much you gift, and it looks more you gift the color the gift looks. How much you gift, and the more you gift, the cooler the gift. I see. Okay, interesting. Alright, alright. It'll take me a little bit to wrap my head around the whole Twitch gifting business, but I'll get there. What's up, Famian? I got the stones crystals at a place called Mystic Wares. See, that sounds... that's the name I would expect from a place that sells crystals like that. Thank you, Jolene. Thank you for the donut. Did you donate a donut? I didn't see it. No. Thank you, Jolene. Hold on, we gotta draw it. I thought it was just a little emoji. Jolene. Alright, hold up here. Hold up. How do you spell your name? Jolene. A big old donut. I used to work at a donut store. Made me really dislike donuts after a while. That was when I was a cake decorator. You would not believe how many donuts they threw out at the end of the day. It was the most wasteful thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh my god. It was so unbelievably wasteful. Like, you guys would be shocked. It was like at least 50 donuts every day they would just dump in the trash. They were cooked that morning, but because we didn't sell them that day, at the end of the day before we closed, we had to dump them in the trash. There are ways that companies like that can like donate those to like homeless shelters or something, because obviously they're perfectly fine to eat, you know what I mean? They're not bad, they were cooked that morning, but that would cost them money to do that, so they'd rather just waste all that food, and it really made me sick. Alright, so let's start a new page, baby. Let's do it. Let me save this so we don't lose anything. Not that we ever have lost anything, but just in case. Let's start a new doodle page and see. Wait, first of all, I wanna give you guys something to look at while we see whose turn it is. How do you do the shading and lighting so well? Do you just scribble on darker shades and blur them? So I usually do airbrushes. I didn't always do this. This is relatively a more recent thing. I used to do it like I would get like a soft light layer. I'll show you. Um, do this, you know what I mean? And that way it'll make everything darker for like my shadows. And then I would go in and kind of blend it out with the blur brush to make it soft, or I'd go in with like this one to kind of smoosh it around and then blend it out to make it soft. For the way I'm doing the skin and the way I typically do it a little bit more often now is I mostly, the main thing is I select the area, right? Let's see if I can get an example. No, I clicked the wrong layer. No, help. Okay. I select the area, right? Let me do it this way. There we go. And then I get, it's a little bit trickier this way because you have to actually, unless you want to put on a gradient map after, you have to pick the color you want right here instead of like doing it the more easy way where you do the soft light and it kind of just makes it darker for you. But I pick a darker area and I kind of go in with the airbrush. I'll do like the big soft airbrush for big sections. I'll go back in with the smaller one and kind of add some like crispier lines and stuff like that. And then a lot of times, for the skin I don't do it as much, but for like clothing, I'll get like the general shading I want, right? Like that. And then I'll go in with this blending brush and just kind of smoosh it around a lot. You know what I mean? It really just, me using this blending brush really depends on whatever I'm trying to blend. Like this would have more creases and corners, so I would do this a lot more than like the skin where it'd mostly be airbrush and then just like softening the edges pretty much. So yeah, you just do that for a long time and that's it. That's how you do it. But selecting the area makes it a lot easier. That way you don't have to like clean it up afterward. You can like really crank the darkness on the edges and stuff like that without worrying about going over the lines pretty much. Because I was never good at coloring inside the lines. Alright. But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much how I do it at this point. Just a lot of that. Very tedious, but I think it looks better that way, so. What's up, Pixie? Yeah, the main airbrushes I use, they're two presets in Clip Studio. I use the hard brush and the soft brush. They're like the first two that you'll see. They're really basic and it works. It works for my needs. Hang on a second, I gotta plug in my phone. And that's another reason why I kind of like doing the commission stuff on stream as well. Because it kind of, you guys probably see the artwork I post on TikTok, but you never really see me do all of that on stream, so it probably looks different. And I can't really show you how I do it with the art I used to do on stream. I just rolled over my toe and it hurt really bad. Why does that hurt so bad? But this way you can kind of, I can give more tips on how I typically do things. So hopefully it can be helpful, you know. America has the highest amount of food waste in the world. That, I believe it. I would be shocked if that's not true, honestly. We're so unbelievably wasteful around here. The fact that we still have people like hungry is just an insult. Like, it's outrageous. We can have so much food waste and yet still have people hungry. Like, it's crazy. Really doesn't make sense. No, I didn't. Thank you. Let me put you up there, hole. Thank you for reminding me. I'm gonna christen the new page with your donut gift. Oh, another donut. My favorite donut was always the Boston cream. There we go. Thank you, Hole. Thank you for the donut. Alright. You gotta see whose turn it is. Ready? Let's see whose turn it is. Center that a little bit better. Actually, I think that should be... What? Oh, that's not what I meant to do. What? Oh, I hate TikTok Studio. It's so bad. Alright, I'm just gonna... Wait, I want this to be like right in the center right there. There we go, that's better. Alright, ready to see whose turn it is? Lee, what's up, Lee? How you been? I finally got my credit. I just need to wait for the card in the mail. You excited, Fabian? You gonna go shopping? I forgot to check Discord. That's okay. Did you get a notification, I Love Cats, from TikTok? Or did you just see me on the For You page? Alright, let's see whose turn it is. Alright, so we're gonna keep it moving. Alright, y'all scream for me if you're in here right now, okay? I see whose turn it is. Now, if Janae comes in, let me know, because we still have to finish her doodle up as well. This one right here. This one, we gotta finish this little lady right here. But I haven't seen her in a minute, so it's probably gonna be unfinished for a while. No, that's not what I wanted. I love geometry and physics. I'm jealous because I really wanted to be an astronaut, and you gotta be really good at that kind of thing. And I'm horrible at that kind of thing. I was taking a physics class in college, and I had to drop out of that class because I was failing so abysmally. I tried, I really tried to, but I was just so bad at it that I had to just like ask the teacher to remove me. And I'm just not smart enough, unfortunately. You gotta be real smart and like a perfect person to be an astronaut. Because I really like astronomy, I love it. I find it absolutely fascinating, but as you could probably tell, my skill set is not exactly useful for going to space. Unless we're planning on doodling in space, that'd be pretty cool. Alright, not here, not here, not here. Eclipsing, Kaden, Yashiro. Now remember, I'm saying Discord names, okay? So keep in mind whatever your Discord name is or what your Discord name was at the time of you posting it, okay? Keep that in mind. Nil's not here. I'm a dino. Cozy. I'm gonna give it maybe another week, and some of these people that are on the list that I haven't seen in eons, I'm probably just gonna go ahead and remove them, honestly, because I don't think they're gonna come back, and it would speed up the process a whole lot. Roses, thank you. Thank you, I Love Cats. Give me 1 second, remind me, and I'll put you on the list, okay? I mean, I'll show you your respect up here with Hull, alright? Just remind me so I don't forget. Vigilante, alright? What's up, Tez? Not here. Kiwi, Sunny, Weird 104. They pop in every once in a while. Oh, let me see something here. I think we might have done this one, but let me double check. Let me double check here, baby. I hate that Discord doesn't save my spot when I'm scrolling up in a chat. It's really frustrating. Okay, I think we've done this one, but I have to make sure. I refuse to skip someone. Alright, so this was... Okay, let me check something real quick here. Need to check something before we continue. Do you guys remember whose this one is? Because I lost it, I lost the name as well. Was this one of you guys's? I do have a little VTuber thingy, if you have that. And look, you can also see me too every once in a while. Look, here I am. Don't be frightened. I'm a lady, I swear. I'm just a little lady. Okay, bye-bye. You only get to see it every once in a while. But the real me is the PNG. That's what all the cool streamers do. I'll never forgive you. But I don't know what nipples is right there, okay? It's fine. Younger, thank you for saying that, Tez. How old did you think I looked? I'm very curious. So I take it this isn't any of your guys. Yeah, no, okay, I remember. That was, I remember whose that was, okay. Whose was this one again? This was Athena's, I remember. Okay, that was Athena. No, wait. Right? Yeah, that was Athena's, I'm pretty sure. $40? You thought I was 40? What the heck? What the heck? I think I sound pretty young, personally, but, you know. At least I look younger than I sound. That's definitely a plus. Alright, so the person whose turn it is today is gonna be Jolene. Do you still have my request art of adjacent? And I think we do, actually. Is that you, Pep? You're adjacent? You gave quirky, middle-aged, tired mom energy. I mean, that's fair. You know, I'm not that, but I feel that. You know what I mean? I think that suits my personality, to be fair. My only children are my cats, but they are my children, you know what I mean? Oh, yes, thank you. Okay, so let me give you credit first. Oh, okay, yes. I do still have the... Wait. I'm confused now. You don't sound 40, though. That's good. As long as I don't look 40, I can sound however, you know what I mean? Alright, so what were the donations? We had I love cat roses. Thank you. I love cats too. I love cats too, roses. Thank you. And then whole set 16 roses. Thank you, I love cats. Thank you, whole. I appreciate it. So yeah, Jolene, you put in a request for a lovely lady called Orange Cream. Is that who you would still like me to doodle for you, or have you changed your mind? Because you requested this a long time ago. I assume mine that was a month ago isn't close yet. It really just depends, you know what I mean? If you pop in on a super slow day, then it'll be soon. This one, for example, was requested months ago, so it really just depends on who pops in. What do you draw on? So the software I use is Clip Studio Paint, and the hardware is a Gammon tablet. It's one of those tablets that are like connected to a computer. It's not like an iPad, but it's cheaper that way. You still want her? Alright, let's do it, Jolene. Let's do it. So we got Jolene. Wait, how do you spell your name? Jolene. And then Orange Cream. There we go. Alright, let's do it, baby. Let's do this lovely lady. Let me open this over there. There we go, boom. Frankie, what's up, Frankie? How you doing today? Oh, thank you, Mochi. I'm glad you like it. We're about to do cream. This lovely lady right here. Can we donate to get on the list faster? So I am trying to see if there's a way I can work that out. Right now, I'm leaning towards doing like little mini commissions where I would do your doodle off stream, but it would be like within the next day or two you'd get it. for like, right now I'm thinking of doing it for $20, just for people who don't want to wait. It's more affordable than getting a commission, and you still get your character drawn, and it would be just like these sketches. I'm trying to figure out if I should do it to where you can donate and then I'll put you at the top of the list. I just haven't exactly worked out how to do that, if that makes sense. So I'm still in the works with that. I'm not exactly sure. I'd have to think of like what amount would be fair, that kind of thing, you know what I mean? But potentially at some point I might do that. Auntie Anne's money? Wait, what are you talking about, Auntie Anne's? But yeah, I know that some people have been interested in commissions, but they're expensive because you can see how much work and time they take, like this, you know what I mean? But that's more of an affordable way, and it's basically a commission just without all the tedious detail work and all that stuff, you know what I mean? And you get your sketch or whatever you want. I have not implemented that yet, but I perhaps might. We shall see. I don't know if anybody would even want to do that, but... Because I don't know if it's worth it to do that if you don't... Like, if people would find it worth it if you don't get to see it done on stream, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to figure this stuff out. Alistair, your new phone, right? It's already acting up? What the heck? Suggestion? What you got for me, Panda? Yeah, I got you on there, Hole. See, we got 16 roses right here. I didn't forget you. Don't you worry. So you would prefer it if I did it on stream for you. Okay, that's good to know. That's basically what I'm trying to figure out. It's just harder to work it into the stream, you know what I mean? Whereas if it's off stream, I could just do it real quick. So I'm trying to think what would be reasonable in that regard to do it that way. And I think there still would be like an element of like in order, but it would be in order based on who donated first. So you'd go to everybody that donated would go to the top of the list, but then it would still kind of be in order in that regard, but it would be a much shorter list, if that makes sense. I'm trying to figure out the fairest way to do it, you know what I mean? We'll figure something out, you know? Because right now all the doodles are free. But unfortunately that means people gotta wait a long time. Alright, Mrs. Keem. I wish my hair was as cool as hers. Play the pen. You like how it sounds? You can probably hear it really good today because I got the good mic on TikTok right now. You probably can't usually hear it that much on the phone, but today you get that ASMR, baby. So I do have it marked, which ones I did. It is actually helpful for me to, unless you're talking about Discord, I've considered doing that, but that would take a lot of time, if I'm honest. I don't have a lot of time. But I do have a list to kind of mark it. I have all the finished ones marked on my little spreadsheet that I have. Kind of keep it organized. The main reason it takes forever for me to pick is because I'm just triple checking just to make sure I didn't get it wrong. Because I'm paranoid about that. I'm very good at making dumb mistakes, so I always got to double check everything. The drawing is already perfect. There we go. We did it. Done. Thank you. Alright. Oh, I'm glad you're liking it so far. Panda, you came over to Twitch just to blink at me. How rude. I keep doing it. I keep putting it off to the side. Keep it in the middle of the screen, Soft. Goodness. Alright. What's the middle right here? Is that the middle? Close enough. Alright. And we start making their eyes too close together. I might keep the pose pretty close to the one you have. I think it suits her with like the hands on the hips. Unless you had a preference for the type of pose you would like her in, Jolene. You do one donated person and then one free person a day, and the donated people get treated like a fast pass. So that would be good, but I don't think I could finish 2 doodles in one stream typically. If I was able to stream longer, that would definitely be a great option. But because I usually only get like 1 doodle done a stream, I don't know if I could make that work, unfortunately. I need to get better and faster and do 2 a stream. I could, but I just talk so much. I yap too much, my doodlers. I used to stream a lot longer. I'd stream until like 11. I am considering at some point trying to do a later stream, because I notice sometimes, especially on Twitch, the views tend to pick up a lot right before I end the stream. I think there's a lot of night owls on Twitch, so I might do that at some point. It's just a little tricky with my schedule, you know what I mean, but still trying out everything. I waited so long. You've waited very patiently for a long time, Jolene. A mod, I mean, I could, it's just, I don't know, I feel bad asking for work from a mod, you know what I mean? They're already helping me out a lot, you know, and it's not like I could pay them or anything, so I don't want to make them go through all of that. They already do enough for me, you know? Plus, it doesn't really bother me seeing all the requests there, you know what I mean? Maybe make a channel where everyone can make fan art for each other. I mean, we do have an art trade channel, but I guess I could make one that's specifically like fan art of other people's OCs. Like OC fan art, and then I could explain like this is if you do fan art of one of the doodlers' characters, you could post it in here. That might be a good idea. Because I know a lot of you guys like drawing other people's characters, and I love when you guys draw each other's characters. It's like my favorite thing ever. That might be a good idea. So, because I never had a lot of art friends growing up, what is the etiquette for doing fan art of someone else's character? Are you supposed to ask them for permission to do fan art of their character? Because with regular fan art, you don't usually have to ask, you know what I mean? Like, it's just fan art. But I've seen some people talking about asking permission to draw their characters. So I don't know if there's, like, an etiquette where it's better to ask or not for that kind of thing. Is that, like, is that what you're supposed to do? You guys are kind of more in the art world than I am in a lot of ways. Requesting songs? Unfortunately not, because I am also streaming on YouTube and Twitch. I cannot play music other than lame royalty-free stuff, unfortunately. I found a playlist that's got royalty-free music, so that's what we're listening to today. I used to do cool music. I used to have a channel. I should delete that. Nah, I keep forgetting to do that. I used to have a channel on the Discord where you could put in songs, and then I would add them all to the playlist, but because I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube, they freak out if you play non-copyrighted music. Like, they lose their mind. There was one day I forgot about that, and my YouTube stream, it was just copyrighted to all heck, dude. It was just like, I got like 50 notifications, like, you stealing the songs, and now if you made it, obviously I don't make any money, but it's like, if you made money, then the big, mean music corporations get all your money. And it's like, okay, geez, thanks. Yeah, the copyright stuff with music on YouTube is pretty absurd. Twitch isn't too bad because they, the worst they'll do is just kind of mute little parts of your VOD after you stream. But like, YouTube, they're nasty about it. I like YouTube, but they're unforgiving when it comes to music over there. Let's see. Always flip your doodle, kids. If I was an art teacher, I would tell them always flip your doodle. That would be lesson number 1. I'd have a big poster behind my head in front of the classroom that says flip your doodle. I think most people ask, okay. It's probably like a gift, but asking probably is good. But if you know the person, you don't usually have to ask. I think it's because some people change things they shouldn't ask so you can get... Oh, change things they shouldn't ask so you get... You know, that makes sense. That makes sense, yeah. I can see that. And I can see people not wanting their characters drawn in a certain way, you know what I mean? So I can see that. I can see that. It does seem like it's just the most respectful way to go about it, you know what I mean? Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. Keep doing it to the left. No, you gotta keep it centered. I don't know how I'm feeling about this one, actually. I don't really like how it's turning out so far, to be honest. Something doesn't feel right about it. I don't know what it is. Something ain't right. What ain't right about this? Trying to give a little bit of an homage to your style. A little bit, but I think I'm doing something wrong. And I don't know what. I made them too far apart, maybe. I usually make them too close together, the eyes. But I'm still trying to figure out that balance, you know what I mean? Of like too far versus too close. I guess that's better. You like it so far? Alright. You don't like it? Why don't you like your doodles no more? Dennis, what's up, Dennis? I refuse to flip my doodles. What? You would not pass my class unless you flip those doodles. Alright? You need to, oh, you going whole? Slash Master? Okay, we'll see you next time, alright? Oatmeal, the car. I almost said cat, the car. Welcome back! Oh, it's Ace, that's right. Oatmeal is Ace. Welcome back! How's it feel to be over there? I think it's only you over there right now, so just for you, you get a face. Look, you get a real lady face. Look, here I am. Hi. Okay, goodbye. We're out of here. That was just for you. Alright, we're doing Jolene's lovely lady today. You gotta flip, Pigsty. That's the #1 rule. For homework, I'm assigning you a doodle, and you have to flip it at least 10 times, alright? And you have to record a time lapse, and I better see that canvas flipping. Otherwise, you fail. Alright, I'm sorry, but I gotta teach these kids, you know, what to do. And the biggest thing to do is to flip the doodles. You know what I mean? Stickers! What kind of stickers you got, Dennis? Like IRL stickers? Like you could stick them on your items? Still getting used to not drawing on the left side of the tablet. Yeah, so with the software, the biggest thing I notice is the lack of new people. I usually get like half the new followers compared to how, like, you guys come, but like not a lot of new people join when I use the software. And that's really what I'm testing right now. And so far, Discord didn't tell you? You still made it, Rocker. That's all that matters. What's up? How you doing today? It finally clicked in my brain that your name is Rocker and not Rocket. But for a long time, even when I said Rocker, my brain was thinking Rocket. But it's solidified now. My brain understands. I used to think that drawling was, you pronounced it with an L. Like how you say a southern drawl. I used to call it drawl. And because I thought that for like most of my life as a kid, it still sounds right to me, and draw doesn't sound right. No good. Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, alright. Thank you, Sundots. Sorry about that. My brain don't work so good. How you doing today? You gonna come doodle with us today? Discord always tells you if you don't have the notifications on, then it won't. So that is the reason why I do kind of try to get people to join my Discord. Not because like I want a big Discord and yeah. It's just because I know it's the most reliable way for people to get notified when I go live, because TikTok has been doing better about it. I will give it that. But for like the past several months, ever since TikTok got briefly banned, it just doesn't notify people, and it's just completely and utterly unreliable. Which is another reason why I'm trying to stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, to kind of build up those bases in case TikTok just does us so dirty. You know what I mean? You never know with TikTok, so. I would say /type drawing and colors. What is it just COLOR? Is that how you're supposed to spell colors? I don't know. My spelling is always wrong no matter what. But you said draw too? That makes me feel better. I'm not the only one that said draw. I think I asked you guys this before, but do any of you say snarls? Or like a tangle in your hair, like a knot in your hair? Do you say snarl? Where did you learn art? So everything that I can do, like that you're seeing me do, like all of this, I pretty much just taught myself, if I'm honest. I mean, I did take art classes in like college and stuff, but if I'm honest, they really didn't teach me much. It's really just practicing and just like the digital software, all of that. I learned all that myself. College didn't teach me a darn thing. And again, that's my college experience. You should go to college if you want. My art classes were utterly and completely useless, as is my art degree. All of this I just had to teach myself. That's why it's great. There are a lot of YouTube videos out there. But in terms of like learning how to draw anatomy and stuff, that's just my whole life always doodling absent-mindedly, and you just kind of get practice. You know what I mean? I go by Ace IRL. I get why you're confused. I'm also doing well. How about you? I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain. It's a Wednesday, baby. I got tomorrow off, and I'm going to decorate the house for spooky month. I'm not going to lie, it is quite a chore. Because I got to do it by myself, and I'm not exactly handy, but I got to do it. If I don't, I get, like, anxious. Because I need to be festive. You know what I mean? It just feels, there was 1 month where I didn't decorate until like right before Halloween, and I was like stressed out about it. Like, I don't know why, but I need to be festive. I don't even do anything for Halloween, but I need to be festive about it, alright? It's wrong. It's wrong to not be festive. Ever since I had like my own house, like a grown-up lady, I never used to decorate myself, but ever since I got my own house, that I can decorate how I choose. Like, decorations are expensive, so I don't have a whole lot. But I gotta do something, alright? I just got to. I will cry. Political Ooh. So, what What kind of job would you get out of political science? I'm curious. I'm not sure I even know what that means, if I'm honest. I'm not smart enough to understand those kind of things. I used to like my art classes mostly just because it was like easy and we didn't have to do a lot of like quote unquote work. You know what I mean? And my teachers were usually like, they would just let us hang out and talk while we worked. So it was a lot more laid back. Oh, I see. Okay, so her skin is kind of like, is it like soda? Is that what's going on? I just realized that. That's pretty fun. I'm not sure I'm going to get that effect, but that's a fun character design. That's pretty cool. It's originally color. But in the day, the US newspapers changed it by the letter, so they cut the U. Why'd they do that for? Just like canceled doesn't use the second L anymore. Oh, it doesn't? Oh, Lord. See, I can't spell anything ever, so I never have any... Like, spelling was like... I don't think I ever passed a single spelling test in my life. I just... Nothing is spelled the way it sounds, and it's like, how am I supposed to know that this particular word decided to spell everything different than every other word that has the same letters? Like, what am I supposed to do with that? You know what I mean? It was so bad for people having to learn English for the first time, because it is just... You just have to memorize like a billion rules that English has for no reason at all. It's so dumb. I like Japanese. Hiragana and katakana, things are just spelled the way they sound, and it makes perfect sense. They spell everything right in Japanese. What can you do with an art degree? Genuine question. So that is a question, Tez, that I never asked myself. What does it say? Katsu Kibakugo, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Doodle Club. My advice growing up in my generation was just follow your dreams. Go to college and follow your dreams. And then you could be anything you want. And like I was always the artist, you know what I mean? So everybody would like be like, you're gonna be a famous artist one day. Oh my god, you're so good at drawing. And I was like, cool, I guess I'm just gonna be a famous artist one day. Nothing practical in my brain ever, like, I never thought about practicality in terms of like what job would I get, because all adults ever told me was just follow your dreams. And it was like, okay, well I want to draw, and they were like, go on. I was like, okay, I'll get an art degree, I guess. And they're like, yep, go on. And I got it in studio art, which is the most useless of all the art degrees. There are some useful ones that you can get a job, like graphic design, although I think that field is unbearably saturated, right? I mean, everything is, but like especially graphic design, because that's what all the artists used to go into. There's stuff like 3D modeling, stuff like that. There are usable art degrees. Mine is utterly and completely useless, and unfortunately I learned that once I got out of college, and I was like, oh, what am I going to actually do for a job? That's a good question. Hence why I'm here, you know? And why I'm broke. Yeah, don't get a studio art degree. If you want to focus in art, make sure it's something, like, you can always follow your artsy dreams, whatever they are, still do that, but you're not getting a degree necessarily for the dream job. You're getting a degree so that you can get a good job. That's basically the goal of getting an art degree, or just a degree in general. You're getting a degree so that you can get a job, pretty much. Even though, honestly, it's kind of useless any form of degree at this point. But I just never even considered... how do you say that? Hold on. Anna Oryx. Oh, Lord, I know I said that so wrong, but thank you for the follow! Please correct me. But yeah, if you want to do art, it's your passion, you know, get it as a minor. You don't need to, like, get something practical in a career field you could be happy doing, that you know you'll be able to get a job in, or at least it's practical, and then get a minor in art. You know what I mean? Like, it will amount to the exact same thing in terms of what you will learn and how useful it is. But that way you'll also still have a practical degree you can use to get a job in the meantime while you're following your dreams. Because life is very expensive, okay? Hopes and dreams don't pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is all practical stuff that nobody told me. And I wasn't exactly smart, so I never thought about it. You know what I mean? I really wish one adult in my life would have talk to me like this at some point, because then I wouldn't be perpetually broke like I am now. You know what I mean? Useless. But yeah, that's my advice that I really wish someone had given me when I was in college. I would really love... But again, like I said, having a degree, it's not nearly as useful, even if it is a practical degree at this point, honestly. Not deterring anybody from going, but especially if you guys are young, the economy will probably be different by that point when you're getting in the career field, so it's always good to be educated, for sure. Just try to be as practical as you can about it, while also following your dreams. That's what I would recommend. Because life is hard, man. It's hard to get money. It's hard to not be broke. It's really hard. So just keep yourself safe, all right? Make sure you're going to feed yourself in the future. Even though I'm a boy, I want to decorate my future house with fluffy blankets, pillow, and hello. See, listen. Comfy, fluffy blankets and all that stuff, it transcends any gender, right? It is objectively wonderful, okay? That is how I want my house to be as well. You gonna thrive in a comfy, cozy home, I'm telling you. Alright, Panda, thanks for joining. You have a good one. My bachelor's degree holds filming, which is sort of fun for digital media. My sister got a degree in film, I think it is. She got a master's, actually, by the way. Didn't get a job either. It's, like I said, it's impossible. She got a master's degree. But she definitely liked the film stuff, you know what I mean? I used to try acting, but getting an acting degree is even less useful than getting an art degree. I'm just gonna put it that way. I used to do acting. Not a single movie producer, anything will ever care what your degree is. You just do the audition. You know what I mean? They're never looking at what is their degree. They just want to know if you could do the part or not. But film specifically, that kind of degree can be useful. But again, she's in the same boat as me, and her degree is more practical than mine. So, but who knows? Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna do like a hand on the hip pose, I think. Too big? Way too big. Jolene gets the first doodle on the new page. The music is a good addition. I like it. Oh, I'll be honest. I can't hear it right now. My headset on a live, so I can't hear it. Hopefully it's good, though. Stuff like political scientist, legislative assistant, lawyer, public relations manager, and campaign manager, government law, business journalism, nonprofit organizations. I'm not sure which one I want to follow, but it's nice to have a degree. So all of that stuff sounds like really smart people stuff, but it's so unbelievably hard for me to even wrap my head around that kind of thing. What is it about that kind of thing that attracts you to it? Is it what about it is interesting to you? I'm very curious, because that's so kind of opposite of where my brain is with things I'd want to do, but it's incredibly practical. That's a great direction to go. 1000%. I wish I had a brain for that kind of thing, because I'd be doing a lot better in life right now. Art, political science, or clothing design, or acting. I really can't choose. I'm really good at changing my emotions very quickly. I mean, listen, like I said, I wouldn't recommend getting a degree in acting. That's more of a thing where you just gotta go to the auditions and get headshots and all that stuff. I used to do acting. I used to really enjoy acting, but what I didn't enjoy was everything else involving acting, specifically for film. I like theater acting. But the kind of everything else involved, 12-hour days on set is the norm, and you have to be, I mean, you don't have to be, but it's really, really necessary for you to be very outgoing and social and energetic, right? Because those 12 hours you're sitting on set it is very frowned upon to sit there and be on your phone because you're in between scenes and you're bored. It's a lot of hurry up and wait. A lot of times when you're first starting out, they just don't feed you. They don't give you water, so you're just starving and dehydrated and too hot or too cold. You're sitting there and you have to pretend like you're happy, and you have to network. Oh, networking. Oh, just the word networking is like my worst nightmare, right? It's all of that, right? The actual acting part, I really enjoy doing. Everything else around it, the 12-hour grueling days of socializing and being hungry and exhausted, not for me. There are some people who genuinely thrive in that environment. That's what a lot of like the people who've been doing it for a while kind of do, where they're a people person, they're high energy, and they love that kind of environment. And I could see if you're kind of like a social extrovert butterfly, then it would be a great environment for you to be in. But it's just not for me. You know what I mean? That's why when they like make it seem like actors are like uppity for wanting a trailer, it's like, no, if you were on set, unless you are the most energetic, socially excitable person on earth, you're going to want a trailer too. You know what I mean? You need a place to just like be alone for like 5 minutes while you're memorizing your lines, you know? But I honestly think some of the best actors are the ones that thrive in those conditions, you know what I mean? And that is just not me. One time I was on set for like 12 hours and we were sitting waiting, as like the entire day was just sitting and waiting. And I started to doze off because I was tired. And then my agent and a bunch of people who were friends with her all like talk smack about me because I had the audacity to doze off after starving and sitting for 12 hours and being very tired. Psychopathy? I don't think that's true, I'll be honest. Well, I think my brain is all over the place. I want to get into criminology, but I don't want to see bodies, you know? I want, like, I mean, there's a lot of directions you can go that don't involve seeing bodies, you know what I mean? There's all kinds of crimes and stuff like that that don't involve that, you know what I mean? And again, that's a very practical career field that you could definitely get a job in, you know? Our big commitment. That's true, but also I'm pretty sure you're young, so you got time to figure it out. That's more or less what college is for, to an extent, is to also because a lot of people don't know what they want to do. I didn't know what I wanted to do till I was already graduated college, honestly. So a part of that is it's also giving you time to figure things out. You know what I mean? And the more classes you take, the more you'll kind of feel what feels right to you, what doesn't, what you like, what you don't like, stuff like that. So. Mix, thank you for the follow. Not gonna lie, degrees aren't worth it at the moment. Best bet is to just hustle. So I don't want to deter anybody from getting educated. I'm trying to be very careful about that. But from my experience, and the experience that a lot of people in my generation who got a degree and are still broke as heck after putting themselves in hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt for this job that doesn't exist anymore, right now they're not very useful, honestly. I think there are some fields that are always hiring, but I used to think one of those fields was like nursing and stuff like that, like the medical field, but apparently that's not even hiring right now. So it's just the biggest thing that I've noticed with me trying to get a job is that every single job that I have skills for, they refuse to even consider my application unless I have at least 3 years of experience. And not just experience, right? Because I have experience doing artwork, obviously, but they want professional experience on like a leading title game or something like that, like doing artwork for the game. Like, no one will even consider you unless you already have the experience. So people have their degrees like they're supposed to, but no one will even consider them because they don't have the experience yet. They just started. You know what I mean? Like, it's really bad. It's really bad right now. And at least from what I can tell right now, it's really not helpful to have that degree right now. You know what I mean? But like I said, there are a lot of fields where a degree is absolutely necessary and can be useful. You know what I mean? Especially like you were saying, like politics and stuff like that, just think about what you want to do and if a degree would be necessary for that, because sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Okay? So just keep that in mind. When I was growing up, they were like, you're going to college no matter what. The big thing is like, it doesn't even matter what you go into college for as long as you have a degree. That was the big thing they were telling me. And again, which is why they didn't push me to get a practical degree. They were just like, any degree, it doesn't matter. Because that's how it used to be when you were trying to get a job. Any degree, you could get a good job. It's not the case anymore. So yeah, just keep an eye on how things are. Think about things critically. Again, I don't want to deter anybody from getting educated. But it's not like it used to be. You know what I mean? Like if your parents are telling you that like, oh yeah, just get in any degree and then you'll get a job, no problem. It's not like that. As someone who is in that world right now, currently experience it, that's how it used to be. It is not that way anymore. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Don't make the same mistakes I did, all right? If I never really get into college, I'm definitely sticking to art, photography, and voice acting since I enjoy all of those things. Voice acting's a good one, for sure. There's definitely, I think, always going to be openings for that. You know what I mean? That's such a big industry that I don't see going anywhere. You know what I mean? So that's a good one. I considered trying that at one point, but I don't even know how I would. But yeah, right now it's just the kind of figuring out what you want to do stage. You know what I mean? Follow your dreams, but try to make sure you're taking care of your future self at the same time. That's my biggest thing. I feel like something doesn't look right, and I don't know what it is. Something about this face ain't right. Can that help? Is that better? I think that's actually better. Your backup phone? You got a backup phone? Why you got two phones? Wish I had two phones. That'd be cool. Okay, how do I want her standing? I might just do one hand on the hip, because you can't go wrong. So to do that, this one would need to be like this. And that could be like that. Okay. I found my backup phone, so I've been working it. What do you mean working it? Like, getting it to work again? Detour wiggles magic fingers. What kind of magic you working with, huh? Can I have some of that magic? Are you a wizard? A little off my doodle game today. We're getting there though. We just need a little extra scribbling today is all. Just keep scribbling until it looks like something, alright? When in doubt. Or give up and try again tomorrow. That's usually a tried and true method too. A fresh set of eyes, as they say. My last voice acting job was unpaid, and sadly I got booted out for some reason. I'm planning to start voice acting some comments with my friends and me and him doodle the comment. That sounds fun. So yeah, when you first get into those fields, it's odds are most of what you do will be unpaid. Most of the acting gigs, I've done quite a few. Most of the acting things I've done back in the day, they were all unpaid. You kind of have to when you're first getting into it. As much as it sucks that they can just get away with free labor, which I really disagree with. I think it shouldn't be legal for them to just it to be the norm to just not pay you for your hard work, but that is how it is when you first start out. You got to do a lot of unpaid stuff to get, because the more you've done, the better. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the experience thing. But I think this one makes a little bit more sense in terms of needing experience to do it, but it's still, it's insulting that they can just, like I said, 12-hour days to get paid like $5 sometimes, and they don't even feed you or anything. And these are like huge companies that could absolutely afford to pay you. They just don't, because they don't have to. That's why a lot of people try really hard to be on a like big time set, even if they're just like in the background doing absolutely nothing, because there's something like that where you can get a SAG card, and that makes it so like they can't treat you like cattle anymore. Like, when you have a SAG card, from my understanding, it's like basically a thing's telling like acting companies and stuff like that, you have to treat me like a human, you have to pay me for my work, because for whatever reason the SAG card makes it that way. Like, they can get held accountable if a SAG person doesn't get treated according to the SAG rules. From what I understand, it's been a long time since I've thought about that kind of thing. But again, I think it's ridiculous that you think it would just be a human would be enough to get them to treat you like a human, but apparently not. You're only a human when you've done a big time movie or something, I guess, so. Like I said, I like the acting part of it. I didn't like everything else about it. It's just, it's not for me in that. I do like the theater. I don't usually watch theaters. I don't usually watch plays and stuff like that, or musicals or anything, but I always enjoyed being in them. That's the kind of acting that I like. It's very exaggerated, very kind of, what's what I'm looking for? I mean, theatrical, I guess, would be appropriate. I like that kind of thing, and it's not like this weird networking, like, uncomfortable vibe that you're in that world. You just backstage, you know what I mean? You audition for the role, you get the role, and then you practice it, and then you sit backstage while other people are doing their parts. Like, it's so much more of a real life scenario compared to how ridiculous and complicated the film industry can be. So I definitely like that environment a lot more, and I really like the acting part of that more too, because it was more exaggerated, and I like being a ham. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't usually watch plays or theaters, but or like musicals, but I did enjoy being in them. They're fun to be in. You know what I mean? Watching My Hero on one and this live on this one. That's what I'm talking about, Panda. That's what I like to see. Double commit. A lot of people start their voice acting too by doing things like how you said, where you're doing like a comic for you and your friends and like you post it on YouTube or something. That's a good way to start out nowadays too, absolutely. So it's definitely good to kind of put your own artwork or your own work out there for sure. That was not a thing back in the day, but now it can be really good to do that kind of thing. So you're definitely on the right track in that regard. Or like find other people who do it and offer to help them out with it. Going to be a lot of helping people out, a lot of unpaid stuff, but it can be really good for you to get that experience, to have a portfolio to show people, like, this is what I've done, this is what I'm worked on. So it's a good idea to do that kind of thing. You know what I mean? What's up, Ollie? How you doing? Athena, where you been, Athena? We still gotta finish. Wait, no, we did yours. Never mind. I'm thinking Janae. I don't know why I thought that. How you been, Athena? We started a new doodle page. What do you think? It's spooky month! Tell me you guys are pumped for Halloween. Please. It's only a month away, alright? We gotta get pumped. I am gonna do a Halloween stream. It's probably not gonna be on the day of Halloween, because I know a lot of you guys are gonna be out doing stuff anyway. It'll probably be like a few days before or a few days after Halloween. I think it would be what am I saying after? It's probably gonna be before Halloween. but I'm gonna have a Halloween themed stream and I'm really excited. Alright, so let me actually, while I'm doing this, I'm gonna scooch this to the middle so you guys don't have that horrible black bar on the sides of the stream constantly. Alright, so we want kind of a strong stance for this lovely lady. Is she leaning just a little? There we go. Yeah, I'm a little rusty today. We're getting there, but it's a little bit more of a struggle than normal today. It's just one of those days, I guess. I'm doing a lot of commission work, so. Well, you think that would make me more in practice to draw, but I think it's just too much. I'm just like running out of drawing power. But we'll make it work, don't you worry. Okay, we're getting somewhere. I do think, however, that this needs to be more like this. Yeah, that looks better, I think. Yeah, that looks better. All right. Yeah, and that's why I can't go back to traditional, man. It's just too convenient to do this. Cool, I'm glad you're getting back into the swing of things. Slowly but surely. Halloween stream. Yes! I'm gonna dress up as a costume. I don't know what we're gonna do. We might just do scary themed drawings. I'll figure something out, but it's gotta be festive, alright? I have to do a festive stream. Last Halloween, I just did scary doodles. Most of you guys, that was like right when I first started streaming. It was like around Halloween of last year. And a couple of you doodlers were there, and you've stuck with me all this time. Back when TikTok was kind to artists, now it's just mean and it doesn't like us anymore. But we're still doodling strong, baby. I really wish I had thought to stream on multiple things at once instead of just TikTok at the time, because I kind of put all my eggs in the TikTok basket. And like I said, it's unbelievably unreliable. Unfortunately, I learned that the hard way, so. What you mean? When I draw too much, I forget how to draw. Yeah, sometimes it happens. You just like get burnt out for the day, I guess. My brain's just tired of drawing. And now that I'm trying to do commissions again, as drawing's gonna be what I do nonstop all day, every day, pretty much. So I better get used to it, baby. That's what I used to do with commissions. I would work every waking moment of the day, just doing commissions constantly. It's still, despite like every waking moment of my life was drawing and doing these commissions, I could still never make enough money to even get close to like surviving on my own. But you know, that's what I'm shooting for again. So we'll see. But you know, you don't get to eat the pen. It's not for you. You guys want to see the boat? Alright, let's see. Can we see her? There she... Oh, you can sort of kind of see her a little bit. Mitzi, you can snuggle the phone too because I'm not streaming with it today. Look at her. You can see her a little bit right here. How you doing, Mama? How you doing, pretty girl? How beautiful she is. Well, you can't really see her. You stop playing music. Get back on there. I really wish there was a way to turn that off on YouTube, where it's like, are you still watching? Like, no, I'm listening. You see her? Yeah, she's right here. Hi, Mama. Can you, like, come over here so they can see you a little bit better? She's snuggling the phone right now. She absolutely loves snuggling that phone. Which is why it puts my stream to a dead stop when I'm streaming on the phone. Ah, Mitzi. Ah, baby mama. Can you see her? There, you can see her. She's giving me kisses. What's up, Fabian? I wish I was there. I can show you what we drew. I still have it on this computer. But don't make fun of her, alright? She's the witch I drew is a little thick, okay? I didn't mean it. I didn't realize I made her that thick, but I did. So you can't tease her, okay? We love a big, thick queen, alright? Ow. See that? She tried to jump. See if she'll do it again. What, Mama? What? Can I get back to drawing, please? Can I get back to doodling? If I try to draw right now with my pen, she'll bite it. She'll bite the pen. You can see right here, she hasn't noticed it yet. But as soon as she does, she's gonna nibble it. Let's see. Can I draw? That's not for you. Alright, I'm gonna try to work around her. Which she demands all the attention always. She doesn't accept like 50% of my attention. She needs 100% or she has a fit. That's not for you. No, Mama. No, ma'am. You don't need to eat the pen. You don't. See if you guys can spot her trying to eat the pen. Look at that tail. Look at that tail. She's got a little squirrel tail. Let's see, come over here. So you're gonna go everywhere to where they can't see you, huh? Can you see her? Nope. Right back to where she was. Buffy! No! She is... I raised her to be this way. It's not her fault. I spoiled her rotten and now she's a little diva. As she should be. She's a queen, you know? Don't chomp. She's gonna bite me. Ah! Did you see that? It's a love bite, but it hurts. She'll lick and then she'll just like gnaw on you for a second. Mitzi, what? She's not even purring. She's just like aggravatedly demanding my attention right now. I gotta draw, okay, honey? See if I can work around her without her biting me. No, you see what I'm talking about? She went straight for the pen the second I tried to draw. No. I might have to lure her away with treats because she's being extra naughty right now. I have to block her so she won't eat the pen when I draw. I cannot afford for you to break this pen, baby. It's hard to replace. Alright. We're gonna finish this doodle, Jolene, I promise. We're gonna do it. Now, Corey Woods, thank you for the follow. How you doing today? I'm trying to draw while my cat is not having it. Alright, there we go. Alright, get this real face out of here. We only want PNGs. That's what I'm talking about. The hands for the hand on the hip pose is always such a pain. It just never really feels right. And it can look so different depending on the slightest bit. Like, if you change the angle of the pose the slightest bit, the hand will look completely different. So it can be really tricky to get right. Shouldn't be at this point because I've drawn it like 10 trillion times, but I still struggle with it. Such a basic pose. Hands are hard. Oh Lord. Tempted to go back to the phone. The software is not looking too good. I did get a couple new people today, but I think it would be more if I was on the phone. If it gets real slow, like if it drops below where it is now, I might go ahead and switch. We'll see. Ooh, hands are hard. Goodness gracious. Ice cream, thank you for the ice cream, Jolene. We'll put you up here. Jolene. And then was that 9 ice creams. Thank you, Jolene. I'm glad you're liking it so far. I'm having a little bit of an off day, so I'm glad you're still liking it. He said, I think my brain is all doodled out today. It's just, I'll get used to it though. Like I said, I used to draw every waking moment of my life back in the day when I did commissions all the time, so I'll get used to it again. Good. I need, good Lord knows I need the doodle money, so I gotta do them commissions, baby. It is nice to kind of be back in the swing of things doing it that way again. It's kind of nostalgic. I scream, you scream, when will it stop? That's, I don't know. Hopefully soon. Unless it's a good scream, you know, like you're just having a great day and you gotta go, wah, kind of get it out. That's a good scream, right? Like a roller coaster scream, you know? I love roller coasters. They are so much fun. Oh, hands, man. Oh, Lord. Alright. We can do this. We can do this. We really can. I swear we can. Jolene, we're gonna do this, alright? Don't you worry. We gonna do it. Alright? And it's gonna be the best hand you ever done seen in your life. Alright? The best hand you ever seen. I swear to God. This running animation is so much more work than I expected. Oh, you're doing like an actual like running loop or whatever? I've only ever done one thing kind of like that with the Mochi animation or Mochi singing where it's just my legs walking by in the background. That was a nightmare, bro. That was some work. You wouldn't think it would be that complicated doing just someone walking, but it really is. It's really tricky to get it to look right. You know what I mean? So I feel ya. But I've only done it once. Alright, it's looking more hand-like. Thank goodness. Okay, alright. Need to adjust it a little bit. It looks like a hand at least. Right? Okay, I need to flip it. A little small, I think. I think the head might be too big too, actually. Yeah, today is not my doodle day. You're still here, Panda? I can feel the panda aura. That's good. I need to feel my doodler's aura. We're here with me. Or I will be all alone. Okay, if it drops down to 5, I'm gonna switch it to the phone. We're gonna see if there's a difference. Okay, alright. I wish my hair looked this cool. I love these kind of hairstyles. They look so fun. On my other computer, I actually have some brushes that are perfect for hair like this, kind of like the braided kind of hair. I wish I had them on this computer. It'd be perfect for these. I was doing a Viking character who had like the Viking dreadlocks or whatever, and I found all those brushes and they're just perfection. So soft yet so cute. Oh, thank you, Unholy. I'm glad you like it. I'm having a little bit of an off doodle day today, so I'm glad it's looking okay. Little bit of a struggle doodle today. But we'll get there. The tricky thing is with sketches like these, I have to make sure my lines are a good bit cleaner than normal, because otherwise you won't be able to see what's going on as well. Because if I just do it as messy as I do like other parts like this, you wouldn't be able to see like what is hair and what isn't. You know what I mean? So I gotta be a little bit more specific about it when I do this part. If that makes sense. Maybe I want the eye kind of peeking through. Show off them luscious lashes. Man, I made it. You like it? That's my cat, Butsy. I just learned animation. And of course, the first thing I wanted to do was one of my cats. She's my Mochi queen. I used to have the animation with her having a pen in her mouth because she's always stealing my stylus. But it looked like she just had a really weird shaped mouth, so I took it out. There she goes. She makes biscuits all day. When I can actually use the software, a lot of times I just I use my phone. But today we're trying the software, and that way we can actually see the Mochi animation. I like doing animation a lot, but my golly, does it take a long time. I haven't been able to do much at all in terms of animating recently. I just ain't got the time. Because I never know what to animate unless it's a Mochi animation. It's just my default to, when I don't know what to animate, I'll just make a Mochi animation, you know? Because you can't go wrong, you know what I mean? Okay, and then this would kind of go like right here. And then we got the ponytail back here. Too many locks right here, maybe. Good job. The art's decent. I don't have any friends or identity. Well, you can be a doodler. We're the Doodle Club, and you can be a doodler, and you can doodle with us. Or you can just look at doodles. You don't have to doodle. It's whatever you want. Come be a doodler. My doodlers are very kind. See, Unholy knows what's up. They know that cats are the best, alright? You're in the right place, too. We're doodlers and we're cat lovers, alright? You can like dogs, too, but you have to recognize that Mochi's the queen of the world, okay? If you could do that, you're in, baby. That's really the biggest rule of the Doodle Club. Mochi's the queen. Okay, now is her head too big? That is the question. I don't think so. Okay, I know she has the straw on her head. Jolene, don't let me forget that, okay? There's a good chance I will. Don't let me do it. I'm taking my ADD medicine, but it hasn't really kicked in yet, so I'm still very forgetful. Another good thing about doing the sketches compared to like commissions, like having you guys here with me when I do them, because you can like, I'm so bad at forgetting things. I very easily miss details, so you guys being here, you can just let me know like right away, and I'm like, oh snap, you're right. That way I don't forget anything. Yep. A cat sneezing or ear flicks would be that would be cute. Oh, Mochi does sneeze a lot, actually. Oh, that would be really cute. Especially if I can get like an audio clip of her doing her little Mochi sneeze. Maybe for like a certain kind of like donation or something, or like a share. Ooh, I would like to. That's a good idea. I might think of doing something like that. Just have Mochi doing random Mochi cat things for like all of the I have the one where like if somebody follows me or something, a little Mochi will pop up saying thank you. I think I have that set. I actually don't know if I have it set on TikToks. I know I have it set for like Twitch and YouTube, but I'm not sure about TikTok. I'm gonna look into that because I would love that. Warning, once you join, you can't leave. I mean, true, yeah. But you'd never want to leave, because, you know, it's Doodle Club. But yeah, I don't make the rules. If you join, you are stuck here forever. That is part of the deal. We don't usually tell that to people until they already joined Panda, because that could be a deterrent, alright? We're trying to entrap them. Don't you see how it works? Listen, you might not be able to leave, but it's okay, you know? You'll be trapped in the doodle world forever, but listen, that's alright, you know? That's alright. You can have my cats. Yes, please. Hand them over. Go on. Cough them up. I would open a cat house if I had the money. I'm sort of obsessed. Dude, so Unholy, my dream. I've said this before to my other doodlers, but my dream is I want to travel, obviously. But my other thing I really want to do if I ever have more than like $10 in my bank account, I want to have kind of like a shelter, but my goal is to like get all the cats that are like in a pound that are going to be like put down at some point, because you know they have like the pounds that do that, get all of those cats out, and then go to like other places where they're not going to be put down, but they're like older senior cats where like, because you know they have a really hard time getting adopted. I would scoop all of them up, and then I'd give them a paradise to live in, and I would still try to get them all adopted out, but at least that way they're like happy and comfortable before they get adopted. And if they don't get adopted, they won't even care because they're gonna be living it up. That's my dream. It would make me feel so much better. Ugh. That's literally my same dream. Really? Bro, Unholy, we twins over here. Goodness gracious. Isn't that the best though? See, you and me, you gotta be a doodler now. We're in sync. But yeah, like I'm the type where like I have such a bleeding heart for it, you know what I mean? That like it'll literally like keep me up at night thinking about it. Like cats like being stuck. There's one time I saw an older cat in like a PetSmart and I cried about it because I felt so bad that nobody was adopting it. And I was just like, if I could just like adopt them and just take care of them, you know what I mean? Give them a good life if they don't get adopted or whatever. Oh, it'd be so great. Sweet babies. They all deserve the best life ever. They really do. They're good babies. Anybody who adopts a senior cat deserves a life of unreasonable happiness. Alright. That is just a fact. A fact of life. I saw a cat at the pet store and started bawling my eyes out for a week. My boyfriend had to dry it. That's what I'm saying, Unholy. It is so upsetting. Like, I feel so. One thing that did make me feel better, all right, this might make you feel better. From my understanding with like PetSmart and stuff, the cats you see there, they're not there all the time, from my understanding. I found a kitten one time and I couldn't keep it. So I went to a PetSmart to see if they could take it and get it adopted, right? And she was like a cliche cat lady, you know, I loved her for it. She's like an older cat lady. And she kind of broke it down to me how it, at least there it worked. I think it's relatively normal. But basically she takes care of all the cats at her home where they actually like live a normal cat life, and then they bring them to the PetSmart for like a week at a time or something like that to put them on display. So they're not like perpetually in the cage alone all the time sad. So that did make me feel a lot better when she told me that. Because I just thought they were in there always, all sad and in captivity. But apparently they don't necessarily do that, which made me feel a lot better. So hopefully that'll make you feel a lot better. But I do tend to avoid the cat section in PetSmarts and all that because it still makes me really sad. Especially when they're like rubbing on the glass and stuff. Oh, breaks my heart. One day I'm gonna be filthy rich, and that any cat that has the nerve to cross my path is gonna get pampered beyond belief. Fosters, that's the word I was looking for, yeah. My mother-in-law talked to me about it today. See, I feel you in my soul. You know exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of people think I'm over dramatic, but like they don't understand. Like when I see a cat, I don't see an animal. I see like an infant child that needs me to mother it, or it will unalive immediately. Like it's upsetting, dude. They're babies. We're all babies. And plus the older cats, nobody gives them a chance, you know? And I, like somebody who's never had a cat before, I always recommend a senior cat because kittens are crazy. You know what I mean? Like I get kittens are cute and they're young or whatever, but like if you've never had a cat, you know, especially kittens, they can be a lot when you first get them. You know what I mean? Like it can, they're little crazy kitties, you know? They're great and cuddly and perfect, but they also, you know, for like the first 2 years, they got that wild child energy and it can be a lot for some people. So I'm like, if you get a fully grown adult cat, I know they're like not as cute and teeny tiny, but you will be so much happier. It will be trained, it will be well behaved, and your life will be better, all right? They don't stay kittens for very long. Just go ahead and get an adult one. You'll have a much better time if you've never had a cat, but you know. I've never, all my cats, I didn't actually go and adopt them. I just kind of found them. Mochi, I found, I don't remember, I think it was like in my front yard or something. She was real sick. And then she snuck out before I could get her fixed. And then she gave birth to Ichi. And then our newest kitty, Soba, we found at a truck stop parking lot. And we just scooped her up and took her home. But now we're at max cat capacity. But I want them all. They're absolute babies. My fat one dug his nails into my fingers when I was reaching out. When I was reaching through to play with them. Wait, hold on, my brain shut down. Dug his nails, my fat one. Dug his nails into my fingers when I was reaching. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. That's what they do. They like to have those little grabby paws. You know what I mean? They can't resist not grabbing a little finger, you know? I just got a donut, and now I want donuts. But if you got a donut, don't you have a donut? Or did you already eat the donut? You can't have your donut and eat it too. You guys know that expression? You can't have your cake and eat it too? I think it was like a couple years ago that I finally learned what that actually means. I never understood that expression. But now I get it, sort of. I still think it's kind of dumb. I've had 10 plus cats throughout my life. Currently I have 4, but I still need more. I had about 5 growing up. 5 growing up, and I have 3 now. And there were a couple cats in between that like I found and took care of before I got them adopted out. But that's it. I haven't had Ted. I really didn't want to get more after my childhood cats passed away because it was just so traumatic. But, you know, I actually tried to give Mochi to a local shelter where I lived, but she was really sick at the time. And when I brought it to the shelter, I hate them, but I'm also grateful to them because they were honest with me, and I am so glad they were. They said it was like kitten season. They didn't have a lot of capacity, and they were like, this kitten is very sick. We're probably going to put her down. And I was like, no to F you ain't. And then I snatched her, and I didn't know what else. It was a really small town. There wasn't any other like shelters or anything. So I was like, I guess I just got to keep this little bundle. And by the way, she was perfectly fine. I took her to the vet right after that because apparently she's going to unalive any minute now. All she needed was some antibiotics and a little food. And she, like, the next day she was better. So they were going to put that sweet angel down to save $40. Like, it just, oh, man. But like I said, by the way, you guys, if you find a kitten on the side of the road, especially if it's a little sickly, be very careful if you bring it to a shelter, because that shelter that I went to is a no unalive shelter, all right? They will still unalive animals, all right? That basically just means that if they're there for certain, like, pounds or whatever, they'll be there for a certain amount of time, and then after that time, they'll put them down. No unalive shelters, if they're sick or if they're at max, like, they'll put them down, but not just after, like, a time frame. You know what I mean? Like, you're not doomed if you go there, but there's still a good chance they could put them down. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind. I would recommend never giving a sick kitten to a shelter, okay? Because, again, they don't have a lot of capacity. There's always a million kittens if it's kitten season, and there is a good chance they will put them down, okay? So just keep that in mind. If you find a kitten, that's why with the one kitten I went to a PetSmart, because I've worked with them before, and they're usually pretty good about it. But yeah, I wasn't going to risk another place putting her down, so I wasn't allowed to have a cat at the time either. I was in college, and I was like at a rental place. We had to like smuggle her in, but I wasn't going to let anybody put this little kitten down. And not only was she fine, I've had her for 10 years now. That is how fine she was, and they would have put her down that day, I swear, man. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm gonna get filthy rich and spend it all on building my cat shelter. And dogs too. I like dogs too. Don't get me wrong. The cats, they're something else. You know what I mean? Maybe this makes me psychotic, but I can handle people unaliving animals, though. Oh, yeah. I think, honestly, that's more common than you think nowadays. Because animals are just so innocent, you know what I mean? That it's just like, people can suck, you know what I mean? But animals are utterly innocent, so it hits real different when it's an animal, you know? My vet tried telling me to put down my fat one when he had a blockage. I was in tears and all snot. Ended up paying $12 grand to get them surgery. 12 grand. Jeez, man. Yeah, ugh. If you have pets, I might recommend looking into pet insurance and stuff too, because I'm so broke right now. If something like that happens with my animals, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I have no idea. But yeah, it's I'm glad you didn't, though. You did the right thing. You saved that little baby. Just for a blockage? 12 grand? My cat's tail amputation costed way less than that. And that was an invasive surgery they did. I do not support shelters. I'll adopt from them, but yeah, so, my sister got a cat, and we went into a pound to more or less kind of rescue one of them. But I shouldn't have gone in because, like, to this day, it distresses me thinking about all those other cats left in there that we didn't take. Like, if I ever did go into a place with the intention of adopting a cat, I wouldn't be able to pick it out. I would have to send, like, my boyfriend and be like, pick one out for me. I can't go in there because I just get too upset. Be like, any cat you pick will be perfect and I will adore it. So just get one and leave because I can't do it. I can't do it. They were kittens on the street. Yeah, a lot of people's cats, they just kind of showed up one day. I feel like at least half of the cat owners out there didn't intentionally adopt those cats. Those cats just kind of found them. Like I said, our baby Soba, she just moseyed on up in a truck stop parking lot. And she was a little kitten. She was so skinny, but she was so sweet. Such a good girl. Alright, I'll be right back. I gotta go tinkle. I'll be right back, okay? Oh wait, I have my cool BRB screen. Check it out. Look. Look how professional. Wow, look at that. Alright, let me get that. Yeah, okay, so it looks bad. Okay. It looks a little weird on the what's it called? Portrait mode. If you're on the phone on portrait mode, it looks a little weird. But I swear it says BRB. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm here. Get out of here, BRB. Alright, back to doodling, baby. We gotta finish this doodle today. God darn it. I have a kitty named Figaro. Aw, Figaro. That's cute. She was the run of the litter, so she's prissy, but we found her under a truck loading dock, and she's been looking like she's a 5-month-old kitten for the last 3. Aw, you got a forever kitten. Heck yeah, dude. We found Oatmeal. Oh, Oatmeal's such a cute name, too. In the backyard. I wish I had thought of Oatmeal. I really like that for a cat name. We found Oatmeal in the backyard woods of my house when I was 3, and we still got that fat old man. Oh, baby. Must be an old one, huh? Man, people have their cats that long. I'm so jealous. Most of my cats when I was younger didn't last that long. Unfortunately. I'm hoping that Mochi, she's my old lady. She's like 10 or 11 now. Oof. Crazy to think about. But she's going strong, you know? So another 10 years. That's what we're shooting for. Another 10 years. It's so unfair that cats don't live as long as we do. It's just not right. Science needs to figure that stuff out, man. So super critical condition, and the surgery was high risk. They had to cut into his stomach. So I guess with mine, like, they had to amputate her tail because it was utterly mangled. But I think they had to do a little bit of exploratory surgery because her stomach was like ripped open, but it wasn't any like her actual stomach. It was the skin on her belly. But it looked like her guts were hanging out. Like, I really did not think she would survive. I think because no organs or anything were actually damaged by some miracle, that's why it wasn't more than it was. But I honestly, I would expect an amputation like what Ichi had to go through to cost a lot more. Mine was $3,000 for all of that, and that included everything. And again, I don't have $3,000, but I don't know what I would have done if it was like 16 grand. Goodness gracious. I love to see older people like you still find you. What the heck? Everybody's coming for my age today. What the heck? Do I sound old? Tell me the truth, doodlers. Do I sound old? Am I an old lady? Tell me the truth. Who is it? I think Famian, you're not supposed to say yes. What the heck? Y'all bullying me today. 1 week of hospitalization, tube-fed, warming pads. I sacrificed nothing for that brat. See, you're a great owner, Rocker. You did them right. 16,000. I've never had even half of that in my entire life. I don't know where people. I don't know how people make money. Honestly, like the most I've ever had in my bank account was like $5,000, and that was like years of me working, and I didn't have rent, so I was able to save, and that was the most I was ever able to save. Like, it's... Oh, I don't know what I do, man. I'm trying to contribute and make some money with commissions and all of that, but it's hard right now, man. Honestly, one of my biggest motivations to make this work and to make some money, one is to get my boyfriend off the road, because, you know, he lives a really hard life out there. I want to, like, follow my dreams and all that. But I want to be able to contribute and make sure that if something like that does happen, I could take proper care of my cats because they are my children and I need to be able to take care of them. And right now, I'm not financially the best, so I'm trying really hard to make it work. Really hard, but it's hard. I'm over here now because I want to snuggle with my kitty. Aw, there you go. Give him a kiss for me, okay? Please and thank you. See, Panda knows what to say. Thank you, Panda. I know I sound like a wee teenager, huh? It's because I am. I'm young. I'm so young. The older you are, the better we will care for you. Like I'm a senior in a senior home and my doodlers are taking care of me. I'm like all old and senile trying to doodle on the walls. And you're like, no, Softy, you can't doodle on the walls. You gotta do it on the paper. I'll be like, Doodle Club. What's up, my doodlers? You'd be like, yes, we're your doodlers. Now go lay down and have some pudding. And I'll be like, yeah. I love my doodle club. It wouldn't be so bad, you know? You guys would take care of me if I go in a senior home? Okay, let's finish this. This character is not difficult, but it is taking me so long because I'm like so not in the zone today. Like it's one of those days where drawing, you just forget how to draw, you know what I mean? Can I get a free doodle? Can I get a free doodle now? Are you talking about like if I was old, you try to get me to give you free doodles all the time? That ain't right, Panda. I mean, you can have a free doodle once you serve your time in doodle jail, you know? But I think we'll all be like 60 by that time because you got a lot of time to serve, Panda. I'll be happy as long as it's a writing utensil you're using to doodle on the wall. That's true. That's a good point. If I'm still using a pencil or something, then I'm not too bad. You know what I mean? So when I try to doodle with other items, that's when it gets to be a problem. Okay, let me see here. I think it's right. I feel like something's a little off, but I'm not sure what it is. I have a theory. I think I know what it is. Lift this just a tad. And I think the head is just a wee bit too big. Oh, it's gonna suck to... Okay, let me see if I can do this without having to redraw all these. Let's see what I can do here. I think this is a little bit too big. Is that better? I think that is better. Right? Yeah, I think that's better. Alright, that's looking better. I like that better. Okay. That's why I haven't been getting drawings. No, I still doodle. You're not in doodle jail yet, alright? So you still have all the doodle rights of all the other doodlers. But just know your time is numbered, okay? One of these days, we're going to build that doodle jail. And then you're going to be doing nothing but drawing mochi pictures for the rest of your life, alright? So enjoy getting the doodles while it lasts, because soon you'll be giving me doodles all the time. You'll rue the day. Okay, we're making progress. We're gonna get this doodle done. No, doodle. I mean, listen, you know? You never know what them old brains make you do, you know? Just don't judge me for it, okay? That's all I ask. At that point, I'd lived a long doodle life, you know? And sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, you know? Just thought you were picking favorites. That's messed up, Panda. I would never betray my doodlers by doing that. No way. I'm a doodler with honor, alright? I will never defy the doodle code. So hopefully tomorrow I'm going to go in and reorganize my list of doodle requests. Hopefully make that process a little bit faster and more organized. If I have time. Hopefully I'll have time. I haven't had a lot of time lately for nothing. And then I'm going to look into that game about us all drawing together. And maybe we'll play that on Saturday. Maybe we could do the Reddit thing on Saturday. I'm not sure what I want to do yet for this week. I might work on the commission this Friday and then try either the game or the Reddit reading this Saturday. We'll see. If I have time to prepare all of that, if not, we'll just keep working on the commission one of those days or both of those days. We'll see. I gotta try new things, alright? They said always try new things, because you never know. So I gotta try. I'd really like to do the Reddit thing, but to be honest, I'm nervous about that one, because it would just be the camera on my face the whole time, and that's a lot. Okay? It's a lot. Y'all just be looking at my face the whole time. It's stressful. What am I supposed to do? I'm gonna be like, they're looking at my face and I'm frightened. Alright, doodlers. It's 7. I'm gonna switch real quick, okay? Real quick. Because we got down to 5, so I want to see if it'll make a difference. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm still gonna be live on Twitch and YouTube. Just gonna change it to the phone. Speed of light, don't you worry. It'll be super fast. You won't even know what happened. Alright? I'll be right back. Yeah, say goodbye to the biscuit mooch. Alright, we got that done. Now let us switch. Switch to me on the phone. Because I do not think the software is doing me right. I feel like I would have doubled the new followers if it wasn't for that. So we're going to test it. We're going to test it right now. Let's do it. Keep it like that. Alright, boom. Let's do it. We're jumping back in real quick. I promise to be fast. Is anybody still over there in purple land? Alright, we're back up, baby. We're back. I am relieved to hear that people are actually getting notified when I go live again. That's nice. That hadn't happened in like almost a year. Across the line. What's up, Remy? How you doing this fine doodle day? Thank you for the likes, by the way. I appreciate it. It's hard times out here lately, man. The likes help. Any little like helps. Alright, we are getting close to being done with this lovely lady. We are getting somewhere. I still don't know how I'm gonna do the soda effect for her skin, but we'll figure it out. Oh, those shoes. Oh, goodness. They look awesome, but oh, good golly, they're gonna be something to draw. Could be better, but I manage. Listen, Remy, I feel that in my bones, alright? That is just my default state of being. Sometimes I don't manage, you know? But today we're managing. That's all we can ask for. Number one, to be honest, I'm not exactly sure. I think it's either like the most engagement in the chat or like talking the most in the chat. It's something to like give people who are interacting a lot like, look, you're number one. I think. I don't know. I think it's something like that. I don't know. The whole like reward thing on TikTok is very strange. I've never fully figured it out. It also likes to glitch a lot too, so that's interesting. There's this one thing that looks like it's like a gift. Like they put it out there like it's a gift, but it's not. It's just like a random thing that happens if you talk enough, and it's very confusing. Okay. Panda, you made it back. Hello. Test it. You came back just to bully me again. How dare. How dare. How rude and how dare. I am a mere 21 years old. I am a young lady. I am certainly not old. I have a full, long life ahead of me. Don't think so, but, you know. It's cool now, you know. 19. See, exactly, Panda, thank you. I'm 19. Definitely 19. Number 7. You want to be number 7? That's fair. You'll always be number 7 to me. I prefer to be number 9. I think 9's a good number. Do you guys have a favorite number? I remember that was a thing when I was in like elementary school. Like, what's your favorite number? But nobody really asks that anymore. I don't know if it's a thing. I always said 9 because I thought it looked nice, you know? $1930s, that's, you know, that's a classic number. Can't go wrong. This Halloween, I'm gonna dress up as a flapper because we're in the 20s, baby. And I still have my flapper dress. And I have short hair, so it'll work for the flapper vibe. It's not the most exciting costume, but it's one of the few I still have, so. Plus, it's fun, you know, it's fun to be a flapper. I like numbers. I gotta do it again while it's in the or do it at all while it's in the 20s, because that it's, you know, it's appropriate. I like numbers with 2 and 7 at the beginning and the end because I thought they looked like race car. Really? Race car? Numbers with 2 and 7. Oh, are you talking about? Okay. Can you mayhaps describe how they look like race cars? I'm trying to see it. I'm sure once you explain it, I'll see it. But I'm struggling to see it. You think I can get my Optimus, Godzilla, King Kong, Queen Xenomorph drawing? No, Panda. No. I will never draw Optimus, Godzilla, King Kong, Queen Xenomorph drawing. The only one in that would be tolerable is King Kong, and even that would be a bad time. I won't do it. Watch someone commission something like that for me. I need the money, so I probably would accept it, but that if I could like not accept a commission right now, that's the one that I would have to turn down. I don't think I've ever turned down one before, but that one might make me do it. Oh, I see what you're saying, like the little thing at the... Okay, I can see that. I can see that a little bit. I don't know about the suit part. Yeah, I don't... I'm trying to think how that could look like. Maybe if you write it in a certain way, it'll really look like it. These shoes remind me of snow boots. Snowboarding boots. Okay, one shoe, one more shoe, and then we just have a little bit more detail work, and then we can get to the color, baby. You know what? I'll make money just to commission you for that. That's messed up, dude. Gonna get a high-paying career just for that goal in life. Why did you become a CEO of Google? Because I really wanted to commission Softy Doodles to do an Optimus Prime Xenomorph King Kong Godzilla. And it was all worth it. Because I offered her a price she couldn't refuse, and now she has to do it. And then I'll be like, curse you, as I'm drawing your drawing. What you drawing? I'm drawing Jolene's OC, this lovely lady right here. Her name is, what's it? Orange Cream. This lovely lady. She's gonna have like orange soda skin. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that, but we'll figure it out. Thank you for the heart puffs. Hold on, we gotta get you up here. Cosmic Bones. Alright. Cosmic Bones. Oh goodness, that's a lot of heart puffs. Alright, hold on, let's see here. How many? How many heart poofs? That's a lot of heart poofs. You out of control. To be honest, I would never forget it. The drawing would mean that much to you. I would make it look like the best Godzilla King Kong Transformer Optimus Prime Xenomorph you've ever seen. But I would be very unhappy the whole time. Goodness gracious, the heart poofs are still going. Oh my god. Oh, what's up, Gummy? Yes, I didn't notice you snuck in here. How you doing? Goodness gracious, that's so many heart poofs. Alright, we 200. Good gracious me. Thank you, Cosmic Bones. I appreciate it. That's very kind. Times 200. Good golly gracious. Thank you, Cosmic Bones. It's a lot of heart puffs. What am I gonna do with all them heart puffs? They look kind of like cotton candy. Why are you scared, Remy? What happened? What are you talking about? What? They're still going? Oh, the heart puffs. Yeah. Listen, don't panic, all right? It'll be over soon. Just go under the your table. You'll be safe there from heart puffs. I want to make a persona, but I can't draw people. I saw my request for a human OC I made and cringed. Oh, really? You don't like the request you put in anymore? I'm sure it looks good. Oh, thank you, Cosmic. I appreciate it. Thank you. It's hard times out here lately, so it helps keep me motivated. Thank you. We struggling out here in Doodle Land. Heart puffs are like the amount of people trying to buy Silk Song. My boyfriend got that recently. He says he's really liking it right now. I thought about trying to play one of those games on stream. I've never played them before, but honestly, they're very difficult. And again, I haven't played it. This is what my boyfriend said. They're very difficult, and you can get lost very easily. And I get lost in my own neighborhood. So I think it would be a miserable experience to make you guys watch that. But in theory, it could be fun. They had like an ultra easy mode with like a map. You know, maybe that'd be doable. They do look like fun games, though. I get very frustrated when I play hard games. I like games to be more laid back. Like Stardew Valley, the cliche girl game. Okay, we're getting there, doodlers. It's pretty slow tonight, so I think, I mean, it might take long, but once we finish this, we're just gonna go ahead and call it a night after that. Still considering doing one of these days, doing like a later night stream to see how that goes, because on Purple app, it seems most people seem to get on Purple app went like right before I get off. I noticed, so it's a little tricky with my schedule, but I might try one of those just to see how it goes. You know, might be that way on TikTok too. I don't know. It's just so like hit or miss with TikTok. It's hard to get it to be a good judge of anything because they're always switching up their algorithm. So it's really hard. Like I've been testing the streaming software versus the phone for the past like 2 weeks, and I still don't have a definitive answer. Lord knows they don't tell you anything. Are her feet too small? I feel like something ain't right with her legs. I feel like that's like too small down here. Okay, I think that's better. I like the character, not the style. I'm using bases now. My biggest fear is not being in the stream and being called. Oh, that's okay, Gummy. Listen. One of these days, you know, if it's not that day, it'll be another day. Don't you worry. And like I said, I am considering doing the thing you guys were suggesting where if you donate a certain amount, you'll be put at the top of the line or something like that. Or just doing them like I draw them on my own time for you for like 20 bucks or something. Something that can kind of help me sustain myself and can help you guys get your doodles if you don't want to wait. You know what I mean? I'll always have a free option, but we trying to be sustainable over here, you know? So I'm trying to think of ways to give people their doodles faster in a way that I can still like function. You know what I mean? Because I know it's brutal having to wait this long for your guys' drawings. I get that. You don't need no money, Despicable. You don't have to pay if you don't want to pay. It's okay. They're still gonna be free by default. Okay, now we need 2 little pockets. My thing isn't the waiting, it's not knowing how close I am. Yeah, that's another thing too. It's really hard for me to give you guys an idea of how soon it will be. A lot of you guys asked like when will mine be, and I can't tell you because it depends so heavily on who's in here at the time. You know what I mean? Like this one, Jolene requested like almost a year ago now. You know what I mean? So like it's you really don't know how long. You can kind of have a super general idea based off of like where most of the doodle requests, when most of the doodle requests recently have been posted, but it's tricky. But it's also good because it kind of rewards people who watch a lot, you know? Doodlers supporting me, give something back in that way, you know? It's nice. All right, we got the pockets. We need a little chain. Where is my chain? I have another one. Where is that chain? I know I have one in here. I spotted it the other day. Where you at, chain? What's happening? Hello? What's happening? No, get out of here. Okay, one of these. There's a chain in one of these. Where are you? I know there's one in here. I saw it the other time. There you are, you sneaky little chain. Y'all, I'm telling you, download some brushes. You know how unbelievably tedious it is to freehand a chain? You don't have to if you get a brush. I'm telling you, it'll change your life. Listen to me. I like how as we're doing this, I'm making a new OC. Plus, I have 2 other OCs with the same kind of style. Ooh, okay. I gotta, like, actually make some proper OCs. I never did much of the OC. Like, back in the day, like, when I was a lot younger, I would make, like, OCs of, like, from, like, my favorite anime, you know what I mean? But, other than that, I really didn't do much in terms of making OCs. I drew a lot of fan art, and then I would do art for other people, and I was more into like the story rather than like the character design, if that makes sense. Like I would have like a story. That's why I always like manga, and I used to really love doing comic-y kind of art. Like manga style art, because I always wanted to get out the story specifically. The character themselves didn't really matter that much to me. So I never really did much of the like OC creation back in the day, but it is fun to create your own character, you know what I mean? I wish I had thought to do that when I was younger, because that would have been fun. Alright, and then we got a little belly button ring. I feel like I'm never quite sure where the belly button should be. Right there. And then we got a little orange on the shark. Boom. Alright, and then she has like little beads in her hair, it looks like. Which, by the way, I love that aesthetic. People who do this kind of thing with their hair where they like have the beads in it and all, I think it looks so cool. I wish I could pull something like this off, but I just couldn't. But I love the aesthetic of it. Can I spam light? I mean, you can. I certainly wouldn't complain. What do you want me to do about the raccoon downstairs? I want you to give him a snack, alright? He's probably hungry. Found one of the most random things from my friend's OC. I out pizzaed the hut. Oh, your friend sounds like a goofball, and I'm here for it. Okay, almost done with this part. Almost, baby. Alright, so the hair is actually white, so I won't need to color that. The biggest thing is gonna be the skin. So we're gonna see how that goes. Let me do the eyes first. All right. All right. Let's see what happens with the skin. I think her hand is too small, actually. There we go. That's better. Alright, let's see what happens. I'm a little nervous about the skin, so I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but Jolene, I'm gonna do my best, alright? Stuff like this is really dependent on actual color, so. Okay, so we're gonna pick a light-ish color. Okay. And now I'm going to select all of that. Clean this up a little while I'm here. Alright, and now let's see, how can we do this? I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the transparent effect because there's not really much behind her to see that. But I do at least want to kind of do the bubbles. How can I do this? How can I do this? Okay, let me think. It sounds like paper. You like it? So I didn't actually buy a screen protector. They have ones that sound and feel like paper, but I didn't actually get one like that. But it does kind of sound like that. So I'm glad you like it. What's that little symbol there? They're so small I can't see. What is it? What's this? Oh, it's a little hand and a kitty. What's up, old bees? What's up? We're finishing up our doodle today. Do you have a nickname I could call you? Because I don't know how to say that. My sincerest apologies. Reading. I'm not so good at reading. How you doing today, Luna? All right. Okay, so this might just require me to do a little bit more in terms of the shading, because we're not going to get the effect unless I get a little extra with it, so. Because you're doing all right, you know, hanging in there. Aren't we all these days? I'm having a rough doodle day because I forgot how to draw today. So this drawing is relatively simple in the design, but it took me way longer than it should have because I forgot how to draw today, apparently. We're gonna get there in the end, but it took some work. So her skin is supposed to look like soda, basically, like orange soda. So I'm trying to figure out how to get that effect right now. I've never done such a thing, so hopefully it will look okay. You can really see that it is that way in the reference drawing Jolene did, but because it's in black and white, I'm not exactly sure how to get that effect as well. And there's a transparent element of it too, but again, the way that I kind of have it, you won't really be able to see through too much of anything behind her, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to figure out. Okay, let's see what we could do. What about like this? Might work. Let me do this on another layer. I don't know, is this giving off a soda effect? I feel like it's giving off a freckly effect. What? What happened to the layer? It didn't create another layer. Oh, no. Alright, well, guess we're not doing another layer. So I could probably do this. I really wish it had done that other layer. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of that for now. There we go. Okay, let's try that again. So first I want to do this kind of business right here. You see it? Really? You're not just saying that to make me feel better? It's orange soda too, y'all. Orange soda is objectively the best soda. Currently a mess, 2:30 in the early morning here. Oh goodness, you up late? You partying it? I used to live nocturnally. A couple years ago, I would go to bed when the sun came up and I would wake up when the sun went down. I think that some people are naturally more nocturnal because even though I'm on like a daytime schedule now, I still always feel more awake like right before I gotta go to bed. But I will admit it was a little depressing never seeing the sun. So, but yeah, some people are just, I don't know. It works better with them, you know what I mean? She did, Panda. Thank you. I needed to hear that today. Everybody been bullying me saying I'm old. Thank you, Mrs. Panda. You saved my self-esteem today. What's that? What's the live? Alright, hold up, Luna. We gotta get you up here, alright? You can't get away with doing that. You can't get away with sending me a little live like that. Alright. Luna. Thank you, Luna. Appreciate it. Now you're on the wall of doodle fame. Gotta eat dinner. Alright, Despicable. I'm probably not going to be streaming too much longer. I end around 8 o'clock, and it's 7:40 now. But if you make it before we end the stream, I'll see you then. If not, save me some leftovers, okay? I'm hungry. Alright, let's try those bubbles again. See if we can get it to look right. I wish these bubbles were a little less dense. Usually they have a setting for that, but okay, maybe if I do it like that. Yeah, that's better. Now we want them to be a little bit smaller. I feel like it just looks like a constellation. And I like constellations, but I don't think it looks like soda. Let me try one more thing. She's also shiny, like it's like she's made out of a bottle, I think. So maybe if I add a little bit of shininess, it'll kind of give that effect a little bit. You know what I'm saying? think that might be the best we can do. I think without being able to use color, my hands are kind of tied. So they are, it looks like they are actually made out of soda. I don't know if Jolene is still in here. She could explain it because it's their character, but it looks like she's made out of soda. Nearly forgot how to draw today. Dude, that's been me all day. This drawing took twice as long as it should have because I just couldn't draw for whatever reason today. It happens. It's just sometimes, you know, it happens when you're streaming to a bunch of doodlers and then you're embarrassed. But what are you gonna do, you know? Friday, I'm gonna be back in the doodle zone, alright? I'm gonna be so good, you'll be like, whoa, I didn't even know you could draw that good. And I'll be like, yup. Alright, so we got some darker ones in the shoes. This part's dark, that part's dark. And then that part's a little bit dark. Almost done, doodlers. We almost did it. So I don't know. There's only 2 doodles to show for doodles on live today. I believe one was Boop and one was who was the other one that posted? Was it one of you guys? Because I was gonna say if they're not in here today, we can just wait to show them all on Friday when we have more doodles to show. But it's up to you guys if you'd rather wait or we can go ahead and see the 2 doodles. Because since it's really slow today and there's only 2 doodles, we could wait to show it next time if you guys would prefer that. Especially if neither of them are in here, you know what I mean? So yeah, number 1, so I don't know how else to refer to it. Like, I always say now we're gonna color, even though it's black and white. I don't know how else to say it. But it's definitely not color. It's the opposite of color. But I can't figure out a way to explain it without saying color, so. Tastes like, they better taste like orange soda. Or it's false advertisement. Did she dare you to do it in black and white? No, so doing it this way, they're supposed to be sketches. They were originally not supposed to have any of the color at all, but I couldn't help myself at a little bit. But I'm kind of doing it this way because it's faster to not worry about the actual colors. That way it's still technically a sketch, if that makes sense. Because if I try to like do proper colors and all, it'll take longer. And these are just supposed to be little sketches, you know. Originally, I didn't do that, and it just all looked like this, but just with hatching. But having like the actual tones in there, I guess tones I could call it, it can help a little bit in terms of like seeing the depth of the drawing and stuff like that. All right, let's do some hatching. The best part, favorite part, 10 out of 10 part. Hatching, baby. You guys can't go wrong with a little hatching, okay? It's impossible. Hatching is the best doodle invention ever invented, doodly, all right? Remember that. Always flip your drawings, and then hatching is a, what's something that the kids would say nowadays? Like clutch? No, I think that's old. Hatching is goat. Hatching is the goat. Okay, it's not even y'all's fault for calling me old today, because I just dated the heck out of myself by saying all of that. Forget I said any of that. Please and thank you. I didn't know you could draw. That's pretty much all I could do, if I'm honest. So, that's my one thing. You want to do Friday, Panda? Faded? Like for the black and white? Is that what you mean? I was gonna say make it sloshing around, but I forgot it's not. You thinking with that animation brain, huh? What's up, Wes? Wish me luck on driving. I gotta take out the trash. Wish me luck on driving. I gotta take out. Do you have to. Wait. If you said something before that, I didn't see it. But do you gotta drive to take the trash out? Is that what you mean? I mean, I wish you luck either way, but. Phoenix, thank you for the follow. Yeah, how far is that trash can? When I was in college, they didn't have a trash truck come by because like we were in a mountain. It wasn't like a neighborhood. So I did have to drive to like a garbage dump to actually do the trash, which sucked. I hated doing it. Oh my god, it sucked. So maybe it's like that. Can you say hi, Piper? She loves this drawing. Piper, what's up, Piper? Hi. Hi, Piper. Here, look. What's her name? Orange Cream's gonna say. Okay. Piper. Here we go. Now she's saying it. Yeah. She said hi. Hi, hello. Alright. What was I doing? Hatching. That's right. Gummy! How could you do that to me? How could you betray me so? What have I done to deserve this? I accidentally scroll on my own stream sometimes, to be honest. When I stream on the software, I have my phone up with the live on there so I can still see it, and I just be accidentally swiping up too all the time. I understand how that can happen pretty easily now. See, this is a big reason why I like to add hatching, because it can really give depth in there. So that kind of might have looked like it's all part of the one big lock, but with just a little bit of hatching, you can now see that that's behind and this is in front. See? Hatching's the best. What the heck, Panda? How dare you? Gummy, you see that? How cruel. Alright, I think that'll do it for this one. We did it. Yay. Alright, so yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and do doodle time. It's super duper slow tonight, and I don't think anybody that posted the doodles are in here anyway. It's only 2, so we'll just add it to the Friday slideshow. You're darn right, you better feel bad, Panda. It's another day in doodle jail right there. Every scroll, you get another day. You just racking up the time, Panda. Yeah, alright, I just made that rule. Alright? So wait, if soda was tricky, how bad would gummy be? Honestly, I don't think gummy would be as difficult, if I'm honest. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but I think the reason why this is difficult is because it looks like other things unless I have the color. Like it looks like space or something like that. Whereas gummy, I know how to do it where it won't look like anything other than that kind of effect. So I think it'd be fine. Alright, doodlers, I think that's gonna do it for tonight, baby. I will be back Friday, not tomorrow. I'm trying to decide what we're gonna do on there. I'll figure it out. But alright, you guys have a good Thursday. You guys doodle it up for me. We will see the doodles next time as well. We're gonna save them all up. Alright? You guys have a good one. Thanks for joining me. See you later. Bye. Alright, my Twitch and YouTube doodlers, I don't think anybody's there right now. But thanks for watching anyway. We'll see you later. Goodbye.